YouTube? What's going on? How's everybody today? It's nice. So today I want to talk about a weird little indie rock meets like experimental music meets electronic music band. They're called The Double, and the name of the album is Palm Fronds. This was released in 2004 on Catsup Plate Music. And first of all, I'm not sure what is the cover here. Like, is it this side? I don't know. It's one of those albums that you unfold and you fold it back up and you're not sure if it's like this, what's that? There's no real distinguishing things, like lots of kind of upside down things. Put it right side up and something else is upside down. It's crazy. So we'll just keep this up here like this, and people who are just looking at the thumbnail think we're talking about a nice tablecloth or some, like, you know, a grandma's dress or something. But this is the Double second album. It was released in 2004 on Catsup Plate Music. The Double is I think they used to be like a math rock band from Brooklyn, but on their first album, between the first album and this one, the second album, the drummer broke his hand, and the band didn't want to slow down or, like, you know, stop recording for their new album, this album, so they just had to, they were forced to experiment with like samplers and drum machines and shit, and I guess they weren't too familiar with that kind of equipment because they said they made a lot of mistakes, but they were cool enough to like leave all those mistakes in the actual songs and just develop on the, you know, the accidental sounds they were making and stuff, and what you get is like a very like noisy, fractured sounding experimental indie rock album. Like, it sounds like it has all these kinds of nice little Band of Horses songs, little kind of like, you know, Americana, country tinged, kind of folksy rock shit, but with all this like distorted and delayed sound, lots of static and fuzz and feedback and like noise in general, lots of keyboards. Like, pretty much sounds like if you were recording, like, I don't know, like I said, like a Band of Horses album, but you were like mastering it, getting all the levels on a computer that was like suddenly someone poured lemonade all over it and started short-circuiting and shooting flames and sparks everywhere and making all this noise, and then you released it anyway and it had all this kind of messy distortion and shit on it, and it's pretty cool. It was kind of a refreshing listen. It's got all these nice little summery songs about lying on a blanket on a beach, and then it's got all this like background and hiss and fuzz going on. It's pretty crazy. People online were comparing it to like Animal Collective and Black Dice meets like Neil Young and Band of Horses. Some of the songs sound very much so like Smog recordings or like Destroyer songs, but has a very like melancholy and kind of psychedelic noise feel to it for sure. Very kind of, I don't know, very experimental for sure. Vocals are kind of like, the guy who sings kind of keeps the whole thing kind of together because he has this very kind of half-sung, like lazy, hazy kind of vocals. I'm not sure if I hear a beard scratching against the microphone at some point. Sounds like it's a little unshaven vocals. I don't know what that means, but very laid back for sure. But yeah, it's very kind of abrasive at times, and some people for sure think it's like unlistenable, but it also has like a very alluring and original sound. It's very much so for people who are just tired of like normal music and like Interpol and everything that's clean and has like proper song structures and chords and stuff. This stuff has all kinds of weird things going on, like weird whooshes and skronks and screeches and like who knows, like broken synthesizers. Like I said, it sounds like it's put on a computer that was just going nuts. It's glitchy as fuck, but very so much so like a messed up sound on here. All kinds of weird electronic experimental textures on this beast. Show you the sleeve real quick. It's very colorful, very floral. It's got little shadow birds, and I think there's a woman spooning a deer man at some point. Where is she? There she is. See, is it upside down? I don't know. Fuck. Is this right side up? It's hard to tell. And you got the black and white side here. You can put it maybe wrong side up. I don't know what's going on. How do you close it? Who knows, but yeah, pretty cool album. Definitely for people who are like jaded music listeners for sure, and they just want to listen to something with a very original sound and an original vibe, and it takes, you know, music in a forced experimental direction for sure. I recommend this listening to. Like, some of the songs will definitely have some people like tearing their hair out, especially if they listen to this repeatedly. I could see people like just tearing their hair out, and that's actually how Anthony Fantano keeps his hair short. He said, "You can find it in me." He doesn't actually shave his hair. He just puts on like some really frustrated music along. It's just like, ah. That's how he keeps keeps himself so good looking. But yeah, the Double, Brooklyn band, they've been around since like maybe before 2002. The first album was in 2002. This is a 2004 album. Palm Fronds, released on Catsup Plate Music. Pretty cool stuff. Very noisy, experimental, kind of inconsistent, very original, very, very curious sound they got going on here. Mostly just a very mellow, laid back, melancholy kind of vibe with like heavy on the experimental, noisy sound effects for sure. Very cool.